What if I told you I had kids, but I left them in a room by themselves all day? I gave them food and water, but I only checked on them once a week, or just when I wanted to take Instagram pictures of them. Would you call that love, or would you call the cops? The fucked up thing is, that's how a lot of relationships are these days. Don't worry, my kids are fine. They were able to express to me that I was not showing up in relationships. Unlike the orchids, which, well, humans can voice their needs, but they can still only tolerate so much. But plants still show you in a hurry what your level of nurture and care is. Orchid showed me that the quality of my love left a lot to be desired. Robert Waldinger, professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School, directs the Harvard Study of Adult Development, which is the longest study of human life ever. It's been going for about 85 years. Big Thing features him in an interview. I'll have a link in the description if you want to dive deeper into it. But they study humans from the time of their birth until their death. And what their studies revealed are shocking. I say it's shocking, but if you ask me personally, it's pretty obvious. Relationships. And I think we all know that deep down. It's the thing we all yearn for. It's the happy ending at the end of all the Disney movies. The study goes even deeper and finds that the most important thing to maintaining a happy and healthy relationship is undivided attention. Robert Waldinger, who is all that stuff, the Harvard guy, he's also a Zen priest. He gets into Eastern philosophies and stuff. And he said that his Zen master said that attention is the most pure form of love. Our attention is divided among work, some of us school, family. It's difficult to give people the undivided attention they deserve, especially with that thing in your pocket always distracting you at all times. And when it comes to growing orchids and having the attention to do that, orchids were kind of like the canary, so to speak. I wasn't able to really see how bad I was at relationships except through orchids. I wondered why, I can keep all these other plants alive, but for some reason I keep killing orchids. I even learned everything. I learned everything about orchids. I mean, theoretically, I'm the master of orchids. In fact, the reason I'm even on YouTube right now is due to being obsessed with orchids because I couldn't figure out how to grow them on my own. This was the first plant that I needed so much help on that I came to YouTube and I found this orchid girl. She was my very first favorite YouTuber, and she got me into growing orchids. I still haven't kept them alive, even with all of her advice, but it took time to even learn all those things about orchids, and I still have not had success with them. Recently got a new orchid because I am now finally confident that I can keep it alive. It's not dead. People usually, like a lot of people throw them away when the flowers die, but I've been taking care of this orchid for some time now. And to me, it's the ultimate expression of my ability to finally direct my attention and focus and actually care for something outside of myself. Like I said, many things can impact your ability to focus your attention. It can be from the outside, like I said, all the things that are distracting you from the outside world, work and school, family. But it can also be internal dysregulators. Like if you have a disorganized attachment style that makes you anxious all the time, it can dysregulate your thoughts and command your attention so much that you can't really be present with people. I suffered from that for a long time. When you have ADHD, and keep in mind, these conditions need to be diagnosed by a mental health professional. Just because you identify with a few traits from some social media person does not mean that you have ADHD or CPTSD. I respect self-diagnosis, but I strongly urge, if you don't really have the medical knowledge to back up your diagnosis of yourself, I strongly urge you to seek out a medical professional when it comes to diagnosing yourself. But learning all these things about yourself are key to taking the wheel back on your attention. So we're going to get into 7 tips that I have tried that have helped me get to this level of I would call mastery is at least the beginning stages of mastery. It's gotten me to this level of being able to direct my focus and attention on the things that I want to direct it on instead of my nervous system and social media algorithms controlling my mind. Number one, the first tip, like I said earlier, I strongly believe in therapy. I also strongly believe therapy isn't available for everyone. That's why I actually made this YouTube channel. The YouTube channels that have helped me do this development while I'm on a waiting list for a real therapist and going through the red tape of actually getting a therapist has been a nightmare. But if you have access, if you have insurance, if you can, even being on a waiting list, it's worth the wait. Because even just the help I've had from therapists through YouTube and me, myself, being a psychology student, I know the benefits of therapy, even though I'm not licensed and qualified to give therapy at this stage in my career. I know enough about therapy to know it's extremely helpful. I know enough about mental health to know that learning these things about yourself, learning these things about myself are how I was able to make changes about myself, therapy or not. But a therapist can be an outside person to help guide you in that direction. They can see your actions from the outside. It's very helpful if you're stuck in an echo chamber, if you're sitting alone trying to figure out the situation by yourself. Reach out to someone who is a professional at taking care of these problems. Number two, meditation. I'm going to be kind of broad with this because everyone says you should meditate and people have a lot of trouble with meditation. Actually, my next video will walk you through a few meditations that are easy for people who are neurodivergent or don't have a lot of time, because meditation can be difficult for a lot of people. But there are different meditations for different brain styles. You can do mindfulness meditations where you scan your body, or you can scan the room. You can just notice what shows up in your attention. Mindfulness is my favorite meditation because I couldn't just clear my thoughts. I couldn't do transcendental meditation. I had to start with mindfulness meditations and walking meditations, but we'll get into those in a future video. Also, things that put you in a meditative state. If you like painting or drawing, for me, I do a lot of the different things. I do YouTube, I do music, and I do art. I'm trying to monetize my music, and the YouTube is something that I'm trying to do professionally. And so painting is the thing that I like to do casually because I know I'm not perfect at it. I'm not trying to be perfect at it. So painting for me is a very meditative, soothing, comforting thing. Although I will in this video swear off of things like social media and TV in healthy doses. Things like watching YouTube or watching a show that you like can really help you get into a thoughtless zone to where you're not, in your head. And the more you practice being in that space, the more you can. It's like if you think about it, when you're like watching a show or when you're painting, you're fully there. Like when you're watching Game of Thrones, you're not waiting to talk. You're waiting for what's next. You're fully engaged into the story. You want to know what's happening. Like, it's not about you. It's about the experience that you're having, and you're just there receiving. Like my best friend, she listens to all kinds of different kinds of music. We are very different when it comes to a lot of things. And that was fun to navigate. I had a lot of help in this particular part because of my autism. It showed up a lot like narcissism. I was very self-involved. I couldn't really see the other person. And still, I thanks to a friend from my church, well, the queen bee of my church, Courtney, shout out to Courtney. I'm sending this video to you, so like and subscribe to me if you're not already subscribed to me, Courtney. She introduced authentic relating into my life. I'd kind of dabbled. I'm on YouTube so much, I've heard of it before. But I hadn't really tried to practice it until Courtney from Sanctuary, the Sacred Mushroom Church, Links will be to all this will be in the description. It really helped me to listen more and talk less. Susan Campbell, who founded Authentic Relating, she has a beautiful quote that just so happens the day I'm recording this, Courtney brought this quote to the church. Embracing silence and being open to others are prerequisites for real, vital human connection. But another type of listening is just as important as listening to others, and that's listening to ourselves, sensing the silences between our words and thoughts. Often the deepest truths arise from the spaces in between words, that fertile void where thoughts are absent. Which leads to my third tip, which I think is the most important tip here when it comes to relationships. I'm gonna drink some water, which that will come up soon. Cups, water. In the witch world, in tarot, cups and water signify emotion. And when it comes to the number 3, that's 6. Number 3, holding space. It's like water, kind of like how I described watching a show. Being there for another person. As they said, attention is the purest form of love. So if you really care about that person, even if you're not into the thing. A friend of mine, they're really into motorcycles and stuff. They send me pictures of them on their bike all the time. I'm not particularly into motorcycles. I don't hate them or anything, but the feeling I get, just seeing them live their life to the fullest expression, and being there for it, watching, and it's really a thing. Like if you really watch people and show up for people, truly listen to them, be curious about their problems, the things that light them up inside, you'll find like a world that, a whole world of beauty that you've never explored because you're stuck in your own head. I think the most important thing when it comes to forming and maintaining healthy relationships is to realize that the person that you're talking to is a complete human being, just like you, with a backstory, problems. They're not just a side character in your reality. They're an entire universe in and of themselves, and you should respect them as such. Number 4, as I talked about already previously in this video, self-care, rest. It's literally the most important thing. I'm actually doing a thesis where I have to analyze this article for 8 weeks, and it's all about it's called Take a Break by Nancy Pelosi. Not Nancy Pelosi. Maybe her name is just Nancy Pelosi. I don't know. It's something I have to do for school. But it's already a thing in my life, rest, as I became a YouTuber and I'm completely absorbed by this job mentally and physically. I had to learn to turn this off, and I'm still learning to turn it off. It's 1 a.m. right now, just so you know. So I'm not the best at turning it off. This particular video is very special to me though, and I didn't know it would take this long to shoot. Anyway, that's just a side note. Caring for yourself is just as important. People get caught up in the idea of being selfish and being selfless. People think of everything in black and white. There's this thing called dialectics. It teaches you to see the world in that gray zone. Your boss isn't evil. He's just dealing with some shit. He has a really difficult job. He has to be hard on you sometimes. Maybe he was too soft on his employees in the past, so he's being harder on you on purpose because he learns that gets better results. No matter what it is, there's some gray area about everything. So when it comes to loving yourself and pouring back into yourself and feeling guilty about it, sometimes you just need time for yourself. Heidi Priebe really helped me learn to communicate these kinds of things, and this is going to get its own video. But it's very difficult to show up for yourself, but a lot of times it's about communicating in advance your needs to the person, or as awkward as it may be. For example, this really special girl I just started talking to, when we first met, I was still dealing with my avoidance. And one of the things I used to do is when I'd get upset with the person, or with this particular case, I had really strong feelings about the person, I couldn't confront those feelings in the state I was in at that time. So I deleted her from Facebook. So when I re-added her, it was a thing, with this new personality, with my new attachment style. It's kind of like being in recovery. You do a lot of stupid shit when you're in your old attachment style. And the hard part of healing is like you weren't perfect. So when you like start to do this work of healing, you'll have to clean up the messes you made before. Anyway, so when I added her, she asked me, like, did you delete me or something? And I was very embarrassed, obviously. And for me, it was kind of like an important thing to see in myself, that like my response to that wasn't to like hide it in some way, or to like play it off, or to like divert blame in some way. It was, I simply owned it. I explained to her that I had strong feelings for you. I was a coward at the time. I didn't know how to confront those feelings with you. And I couldn't just keep seeing you on my Facebook feed and know that I couldn't do anything about it. And so I deleted you. And that was very hard to say, but it was being, authentic and true to myself, not abandoning myself in the situation. I didn't do anything to like make myself seem better than I was. And don't worry, these next sections won't be as long as this one. We're moving on to section 5. Let's learn about attachment theory. As a matter of fact, I'm actually not doing a perfect job at this, but in the description I will have, I almost cut this part of the video out completely because of this, but I'm going to go ahead and take the 9 million hours to make this video really well. It was like 3 a.m. when I was recording that part of the video. John Bowlby is the founder of attachment theory, and Marie Ainsworth made it more popular in, I believe, the 60s or the 70s. I will be perfect with all this information coming up, but flying by the seat of my pants, and it was like 3 a.m. when I was doing this originally. And right now I'm really trying to get this edit done because this video is supposed to post in 2 days and help. If you're a YouTuber, I'll say it a billion times, Heidi Priebe. She's literally the mistress of attachment theory. She'll teach you everything you need to know about your attachment style. To me, the attachment style is like the most important thing, period, in having a healthy relationship. It's literally how you attach to people, how you attach to things, like how you show up in relationship is literally what your attachment style is. So the more information you gain about attachment styles, and of course, like and subscribe if this is helping you so far. But I will definitely have attachment style videos in the future, but we're not going to get into this in this video because this video, I don't know. I think it's probably pretty long at this point. So we're going to get to tip number 6. Number 6, and obviously me from a different day recording this because I forgot to shoot this in the first shooting, is develop a relationship with plants. And I mean this in many different ways. Growing plants will help you develop this relationship, but also learning to work with them in a spiritual, shamanic sense. Take that how you will. You can look up different ways to work with shamanic plants. And I don't mean just like tripping, which I guess that's kind of how I made that sound. That is one way. I'm not condoning that for obvious reasons, but there are different ways to work with plant spirits, and there are plant medicines in the universe that are not illegal psychoactive substances. But plants in general, but plant medicines and plant spirits will teach you many of these spiritual attributes that people aspire to have. They teach you patience, they teach you serenity. They, the core of this video is how orchids, help me cultivate this zen, and how orchids taught me how to become more present in relationships. And it wasn't just orchids, this being the core of the video. Orchids will be the most difficult plant and the most time-consuming plant you ever try to grow. I guarantee you. They are the most attention-demanding plant, which is why I use them in this analogy for relationships, because human relationships are pretty demanding too. But plants will teach you how to, learn to prioritize time and attention, and they'll show you the true value of your attention. Speaking of value of your attention, I appreciate it if you've watched this far. I appreciate it if you have watched this far. If you would hit that like button at this point, especially, I've put a lot of effort into this video. That's why it took so long for this to come out. And you like and subscribe, you'll be able to see my next videos I've been working on. We got so much content coming up, but let's get to number 7 so I can finally edit this video and be done. Number 7. Stop scrolling. Come on. I'm not going to be the kind of guy to tell you to break up your phone, but maybe you should break up your phone. I go to school online, and I'm a social media person. I'm trying to build a business online. I can't really stop being online. I am not chronically online, as in addicted to it. As a person who is online continuously as my lifestyle, I think it's even more important for me to be wary of my scrolling habits, because literally it steals so much time from you. You can be doing so much with the very little time you have after you get off work. You could be doing something productive with it, but instead you're scrolling and just getting the quick dopamine fix, and it's not adding any value to your life. It's just taking time, and 9 times out of 10, you don't even remember what you just watched 5 minutes ago. It's really not worth it, and I really feel sorry for, I feel sorry for all of us, what short form content is doing to our brain long term. Kind of an unavoidable thing. I try to sit on my high horse and judge people who scroll all the time. My friends will send me like 1,000 reels, and I'll be like, bro, you're addicted, bro. And then and I know it's an addiction. It's really weird because I'll send them 1,000 reels and I won't even notice that I've done that. I'll be like, oh damn, I'm just as bad. So I'm not being judgmental. I'm right there with you. Fucking watch the scrolling. It's fucking killing your brain. It's killing it. It's killing it. Yeah, being obsessed with orchids really was the thing that I feel like put me on the path to enlightenment. As much as people will say that, World War II created anime type of deal. If it weren't for discovering orchids and me being so in love with orchids, I would have never, it's like orchids made me obsessed with a thing. It made me focus so much on one thing for so long. For years of my life, I have learned so much shit. I became a whole ass YouTuber just from trying to learn how to grow orchids. So if you're trying to fix your life and become a master, which if you're watching this channel, hopefully that's your thing. Keep following me for more. But yeah, definitely grow orchids because they will challenge the shit out of you. They will. Uh, and yeah, I have another page, by the way, if you want to follow the life of this orchid and see how well it does, and like see all the other plants I collect. There'll be a link in the description. I haven't renamed the page yet. It will be called like Alexio Behind the Scenes or some shit. Oh no, it's Alexio Unchained. I did name it. Um, so yeah, I'm really in my renaissance phase, and I'll be making videos more intense like this. I don't know how much better this video was. I do know how much better this video was, but you know, imposter syndrome. If you're watching to the very end, I really love you and appreciate you, and share this video. I'm really trying to monetize my page so I can stop working at fast food restaurants because it sucks balls and I hate it. And maybe I'm not that talented to you, but I will be. I have a lot of potential and shit. Like and subscribe for more. Oh, I also have this. And as always, stay mindful.